Hey, it's Boss at Korea Disco, finally back with the video. And for an inventory video today, and the plan is to show you all 1300 videotapes that are listed in our web store. As you can see, they're waiting here to be ordered in our shop. And today is December 11th, 2024, so this is a snapshot in time. Yeah, October and November have been a bit crazy, a bit of a run on late videotapes mostly. So in the last few weeks I've been preparing many tapes. There's more than 100 new listings, maybe more than 120 even, going live together with this video. The reason was I was planning to make this video for a while, but every time everybody is snatching away all those nice ones, and I want to film the nice ones in the inventory. So this is what I'm gonna do today. I like to emphasize that what we do here is we're not just flipping videotapes. What we sell is a service product. The reality is all of these are ex-rentals that haven't been taken care of very well, so they need a lot of work. Today I will show you all the tapes in the Western category up to the Middle East, but all the Asian videotapes are for another day. So I'll show you every single tape and share a bit of trivia on the way, so let's go. So all tapes here in our storage slash showroom are organized in alphabetical order. So we're starting at the numbers, starting at point 45, VHS, late one, I think. 2 Days in Paris, Too Fast Too Furious, not late one. 3 Violent Nights, beautiful cover, Italian film. 310 to Yuma. 8 Mile, not a late one, but a beautiful one. The Ninth Company, like if they have a different title and the international title is not shown, put a little, yeah, it's just, it comes off really easy, so no worries there. It's not like sticky tape or something at all. It's this is a Russian movie, The Ninth Company. Nice disaster movie, 10.5, Earthquake, 10.5 something. Bit of Terry Gilliam. 20 Nights and a Rainy Day. 21 grams. 40-year-old virgin, nice late one. 48 hours. The difference between the Korean one and the Western one is this nice flip of the bird. It has less strong of a meaning than in Western countries. So 88 minutes, Al Pacino, 100 feet, late thriller horror. Nice retail release of 101 Dalmatians, 125 rooms of comforts, 300, popular late one. This would be one of those late ones I couldn't film because as soon as I upload them, somebody buys them. 1984, John Hurt, rest in peace, John Hurt. 2001, A Space Odyssey, retail version it looks like, but this is a later 90s release where they remastered it, so it's really nice quality, image quality. 2019, After the Fall of New York, in a smaller green table case, like they're a bit narrower, the height is the same but they're shorter in depth. Across the Universe, a late one. I think it's the first time I have this late title. Kaput Lager. If I do have the same title in two different conditions, I do list both. Sometimes that happens. Kaput Lager, the original title is Achtung, the Desert Tigers. Here's a couple of Eon Flux films, the two animations and the late one with Charlize Theron. Agent on Ice. Breathe, late one. Airborne, a popular 90s cult one, skating, roller skating stuff. A bit of Aladdin. There's one with English audio, Korean subtitles rental, and then we have a same story but then Aladdin 2. This is Alarm for Cobra Elf, the German action TV series on TV. And the Germans are very good in making cars fly in the air, and this is one of those TV series, and they made a movie out of it, or a TV movie version, something like that. The international title would be Wild Runner. But if you like Autobahn and see a lot of cars exploding in the air, that's one for you. Toxic Spawn, also known as Alien Contamination, which is why it's here at the A. Alien Outlaw. No Alien at the moment, but we have Aliens, or Alien 2 as they say in Korean. This is Alien Avenger or Alien Space Avenger. All the Kingsman, nice late one. Alligator Legends, another disaster monster B flick. Alligator 2, Alvin and the Chipmunks, late one. Amazons, let me go on Amelie. America 3000, a nice late one, which is American Gangster. American Gigolo, American History X, American Pie, Bandcamp, American Psycho, sold a couple of these, nice one, and American Werewolf in London, Amityville 2, a bit of Russian movie history with Andrei Rublev on 2 cassettes. More B disaster stuff with Android Apocalypse, Angel, 80s. I think it's Angel of Heat, a German one. The sleeve's a bit compromised, but pretty cool cult stuff. Angel Fists, Angels and Demons, Animatrix, April Fool's Day. It looks like Saw, but it isn't. It's the cover art is all rip-off. It's Are You Scared Yet? Made it look like Saw. The Art of War 3 Retribution. Arthur and the Minimoys. The Assassination on Richard Nixon, also late if I'm correct. Atomic Dog. Atonement, late drama. Atlantis, some Disney retail, the Korean dubbed version. Steven Seagal in Attack Force. I think I have all the late Steven Seagal movies, so it won't be the last time you see this guy. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Austin Powers and Goldmember. This little thing here, they use this in rental shops. It says in rental, so they probably put it like something like that, and then it's like in rental currently, or rented out, something like that. Brad Pitt in Babel, however you're gonna pronounce it. Babylon AD and Bad Channels. Yeah. Balto. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with this franchise, Wings of Change. I think there's a bunch of these. If you're wondering what this is a poster on a board from Star Wars, an old Korean poster. Hanging here. Bandidas with Penelope Cruz. Nicolas Cage in Bangkok Dangerous. The Bank Jobs, Jason Statham. Barbed Wire. Don't call me babe. Don't call me babe. Don't call me babe. Barbarian Queen. And then there's a bunch of Barbie films. Barbie animation, movies. Most of them are late. The ones that sold quick were the ones that had pink or purple tapes. I think there's none of those left. I guess that looks good. And a Barbie collection. I think most went to Barbie collectors rather than VHS collectors. Anyway, Basket Case 3. Here's a retail version of Batman Returns. I had the rental as well, but that's gone. This is a later one, I think. 95, yeah. Then Batman Forever. Batman Begins. Bat's Human Harvest. I think it's a B horror, but the Sony ones, the late Sony ones, are pretty solid when it comes to cover art and quality generally. They made it look nice. Batteries not included. Some Spielberg classic. Battle Truck. I think it's like a New Zealand Mad Max. Actually, the international title is different, and I forgot now. But yeah, it looks a lot like Mad Max 2, I think, mostly. Beasts. Really cool cover. The Beast in the Heat, or the Beast in Heat. More Nazi torture stuff. Beastmaster 2. The Beauty and the Beast. Because I Said So. Becoming Jane. The Beast. Really cool cover. Nice old school Someone release. I like that they have these sturdy cases with their logos on it. Beowulf, also a popular late one for sure. Best of the Best 3, and no 1 and 2 at the moment. Billy Zane in a late, I'm not sure, it's a late VHS, but the movie could be a bit earlier. What's the name? Bet Your Life. A bit of a B flick with Billy Zane. Beyond Darkness, which is a Swedish teenage slasher kind of thing or something. At least it's Swedish, not sure about the slasher part. Beyond Desire. Beyond the Door. Big Business. Big White. Bionicle 3. Black Aphrodite. This is gonna be a long video, guys. This is a Black Book, a Zwart Book, a Dutch movie, Paul Verhoeven. The Black Cat, the Black Cobra. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of black. It's really cool cover as well. Black Cobra 2, more Fred Williamson. The Black Dahlia, Scarlett Johansson, late title. Black Jesus, Black Serenade, Black Valor, Blackbirds. I never can resist to pick up these later disaster B flicks. Like you put them on and you see like a horrible orgy of CGI exploding buildings. It can be fun, you know. Blackenstein, nice blaxploitation, old one, also a story like one is in really nice condition, the other one has a couple of condition issues. Always read the description to check out those details. Blackout, Blade 2 and Blade 3. Blades of Glory, also a late one that is pretty hard to find. Blair Witch Project. You can't not have Blair Witch Projects. Blind Date, Blind Terror, Blindness, late one, The Blob, Blood Bride, that's the cover as well. DNS never disappoints with their cover art, I think. DNS being a famous like late 80s, early 90s label. Blood Diamonds, the title is in French, but the movie's Italian, and I put it at the English title. Yeah, it's confusing maybe, but sometimes that happens with Korean VHS. Newer titles like this is pretty straightforward with the cover art. Blood Diamond with DiCaprio. Blood Harvest, Tiny Tim. Blood. What? Blood Rain. Ah, this is for everybody who loves Uwe Boll. Blood Screams. Blood Tide. More blood. Yep. Blood Trek. And then Blow with Penelope Cruz and Johnny Depp. Blue Velvet. I'm not gonna not pick up a David Lynch movie. If I see a David Lynch movie, I pick it up. I think this is one of the easier ones to find, and I have it now in neat condition. That's the thing, you know, like let's say this sells and somebody asks. It will be quite a challenge to find it in good condition. You know, that's always the big challenge. Have to be lucky. Body Bags. More Leonardo DiCaprio in Body of Lies. Bonnie and Clyde, solid early 90s or late 80s. What is it? Late 80s. Warner release. Boogeyman 1 and 2. 1 not being late, 2 is late. Bordello of Blood. It doesn't say, but I know. I remember. And the unique part about this cover art is, I think the international cover art looks like only the legs, and this one also has the vampire mouth face on it. Bourne Ultimatum. Boy takes girl or boy. Yeah, there's some variations. It's an Israeli movie, if I'm correct. Really solid cover. Brainwash. Brainwaves, also in 2 different conditions. The Brave with Johnny Depp. It's directed by Johnny Depp, and it has Marlon Brando in it. I remember in my DVD time when I was a teenager collecting DVDs, I really wanted this DVD, and it was nowhere to be found, and I found a UK one in the end. But the same with the video. Like, there's not many video releases of this movie, even though Johnny Depp directed it, who's a big name. The movie is very indie. Okay. The Brave one. Braveheart. 2 cassettes. Same front cover, different side pictures. A Breed Apart. Bridge to Nowhere. Bride of Chucky. There he is with his bride. The Bridge to Therapeutia. Bring It On, All or Nothing. A Brother from Space. Another cool, not disappointing DNS international label release. The Brothers Grimm. It's the same that I have with David Lynch. I have definitely a week for Terry Gilliam films, so even though they're not in demand, I'll definitely pick up Terry Gilliam movies. Brothers in Blood. Bruce Almighty. Has a nice silver glossy cover, by the way. Or spine, not the cover. The Bruce Lee story. There's Bruce Lee biopic. Bubble. It's Steven Soderbergh. Late. Okay. More indie stuff with Vincent Gallo and Christina Ricci. Buffalo 66. Bug. Another monster movie sort of thing. Bugs, which is a little bit more innocent. Sealed, by the way. This is a sealed retail Disney release in the Korean dub version. The Burning in 2 versions. This is the older version and this is the later release, promising an uncut one, but I'm not so sure if it's fully uncut. Burning Rubber, super obscure movie that nobody knows. I barely could find that information. It's pretty mint, just slight fade, but yeah, pretty cool. Buzz Lightyear for all Toy Story fans. The dubbed one, Cabbage Patch Kids. Cage Fury, Candyman 1 and 2. Caged in Paradiso. A couple of Caligula, if that's how you pronounce it, movies. Some of them pretty, like pretty much like erotic thriller, erotic, drama sort of thing. Some a bit more horror-y, I guess, or trashy slashy. Cannibal Apocalypse, Cape Fear, the Scorsese one, Captivity, or 444, Carlito's Way, Pacino stuff, Caro's Escape, Carrie, famous horror, Casanova, late one, with Heath Ledger, one used rental with a bit of fade, and one is factory sealed with the Buena Vista watermark there. Castle Freak, Cat and Canary, cool cover. Cat's Eye, as you can see, here it is, the Cat's Eye. Catwoman, not the most popular film, but I love the cover though. The Cavern, and Centipede, more B stuff. Hey, I think I forgot to write down the name and I don't remember, something with dragons or something. Chained Heat 2, Chaos, which is a 2005 movie according to IMDb, but this video release is from 2009, it's quite a late one. Chameleon 1 and 2, a really neat condition, some 90s sci-fi thriller stuff. And then the Champ, the Changeling, the, what is it, 70s horror movie? Or is it 80s? And then Changeling with Angelina Jolie. And here's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Charlie Wilson's War, Tom Hanks, Charlotte's Web, the old cartoon, in a relatively modern VHS release, I think somewhere 2000s, and it's as good as mint. And then we have Charlotte's Web with Dakota Fanning, the movie from 2006, if I'm correct. Cheaper by the Dozen 2, late one. Couple of Chicken Littles, one with subtitles, and then two different conditions on the dubbed ones. Chicken Park, which is one of the very first Korean VHS tapes I watched ever. It's an Italian movie, it's in English, and obviously it's meant to be a bit of a parody on Jurassic Park, but you don't have huge dinosaurs, but huge chickens. And be careful for the huge chickens. Okay. The Children of Huangshi, Children of Man, Child's Play 2 and 3, no 1 at the moment. Chillers, Christmas Carol, which is a late release, but the movie is not late, so there's also foreign releases of that. Here's the Chronicles of Narnia, the first one and the second one, and they're both late. They're both subtitled. What they do with movies that are very much focused on a younger audience or kids. There's also dubbed versions of this, but these are the subtitled versions. The Chronicles of Annie Riddick, the animation version of Chronicles of Riddick. Chut the Bud, Chut 2, I don't know. Chuck and Larry, Circle of Crime, City of Blood, the class of 1999. Cleopatra, which is an Australian TV series, if I remember correctly, and this is probably the pilot or a couple of episodes of that. Cloak and Dagger, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There's an earlier release of this as well. This is like when they celebrated 75 years of Columbia Pictures. Close Your Eyes, The Clown, same story as with the Alarm for Cobra 11. which is a German action series with a lot of exploding vehicles, even planes. Cloudy with a chance of what is it? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Also a quite rare one. I think it's 2010 even. Yeah. Really nice copy. The Club with Hugh Jackman, late one. Command 5. Conan the Destroyer. Some Schwarzenegger goodness. What's this? Condemned to Hell. Conspiracy. The Constant Gardener. Constantine. Contra what? Contra Conspiracy. Convict Women. Convoy of Women. Something with Vanilla Ice. Cool as Ice. Cool World. Brad Pitt. Coringa. It's Sophia Loren. I really like the cover, really nice. Covenant, late release. People with very black eyes. Crawl Space, some Klaus Kinski stuff. Crazy Boys at the Game, French comedy classics. Creep. Crime Buster. Crime Zone. Crimson. Crimson Rivers 2. Jean Reno. French. Critters sitting here in the corner, going towards the end of the sea. Something with mummies. I didn't write down the title, I see. But yeah, I also like a B movie with a lot of cheesy effects. Kronos. Guillermo del Toro, if I'm correct. No, yeah, what was it? Oh. Anyway, Crooklyn, Spike Lee, really nice, colorful cover. Cross Mission, action stuff, and the Britney Spears fans need to get this one. Crossroads. The Crow 2, hopefully I'll get a Crow 1 up sometime soon again. The Crow 1 is popular among a variety of collectors, so it never lasts that long. Cruel Jaws, Cruising, Al Pacino stuff. The Curse of the Mummy still. I think that's 60s movies, which I don't have many of, but sometimes some. Cube 1, 2 and 3. Cut and Run. Cut, which is an Australian slasher with Kylie Minogue in there somewhere. Spoiler alert, I think she dies pretty soon, so it was more a marketing thing, I think, to get her in. And a slasher with Brad Pitt. Cutting Class, one of his earlier movies. Cybernator and Cyclone with Heather Thomas. We move on to the D, and technically I guess I should have put this at the Korean movies, as it is a Korean production. However, it's an international production with foreign actors, but a Korean director made it, so unlike usual, they released a version with Korean subtitles and one dubbed. So anyway, Dean's, it's a Belgian, for the art house lovers, a Belgian movie. Dan in Real Life, a nice late Stephen Carell film. Danny the Dog, Jet Li, gotta love the cover. The Dark Tide, Darkness Falls, Dawn of the Dead, Yeah, that's from Evil Dead, the cover art. But this is the original old Korean Dawn of the Dead release. And then there's Dawn of the Dead, the remake from 2004, if I'm correct. The Day of the Beast, a bit of a black metal related comedy from Spain. The Day the Earth Stood Still, the remake with Keanu Reeves. The Dead Girl, Dead Heat, Dead Man, Jim Jarmusch. The soundtrack is one of the best ever. Loving the soundtrack. Neil Young. Dead Mary, nice late Sony release. Deadly Manor, Deadly Obsession, Deadly Prey or Vietnamese Rambo, Deadly Weapons, Days of Thunder, Tom Cruise, That Rug, Death Defying, a late one with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Guy Pearce, Death Doll, Death in Haiti, Death of a President, Death Promise, Death Race, more Jason Statham late action stuff, Death Stalker, Death Wish with Charles Bronson, Decker and Adi, more vehicles exploding high up in the air, so Germany. The Germans love exploding vehicles. Demon of Paradise, Demon Warrior, The Descent, Desperado, The Detonator, late Wesley Snipes stuff, Juice Bigelow, The Devil Came from Akasawa, perhaps, The Devil's Honey, if I translate this correctly. The Devil with 7 Faces. Of course, my Italian is a bit rusty. Usually then I put one of those stickers here, but I didn't. But a very old school vintage live release. The Devil Wears Prada, late one. The Devil's Nightmare. The Devil's Rejects, I also didn't write it on it, but I know my Rob Zombie stuff. The Devonsville Terror. Die Hard 2 and 3, recently sold 1 and 4, so no 1 and 4 at this point in time. Dirty, late title, Dirty Harry, good old Clint. This is District B13. I put a rubber band on it because I put it on as a set. It's definitely not a famous title, it's a French movie, or 2 French movies. With free runners. It's I think they use actual free runners, so if you like free running, that's a cool one. The original 60s Django with a nice glossy print there. Do or Die, or Don't. DOA, Dead or Alive, Dogville, Lars von Trier, on 2 cassettes. Dogs of War. It says here Dead or Alive. I couldn't find any reference with that title, but this is the Dogs of War with Christopher Walken, which is nowhere to be found on this cover, but he's in there. Dolls, Donnie Darko, definitely a hot item. Don't Move, it's an Italian movie with Penelope Cruz. Yeah, see Spanish, but the movie's actually Italian. Doom, nice late one. Doomsday, Double Team, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dr. Giggles, Dr. Strangelove, later, also one of those anniversary releases, so nice quality image you'll get. Dracula 2000, nothing special, but it is factory sealed with the labels The logo's on there. Down, which is a remake of The Lift, I think. And Dreamscape. Truck Runners. June. David Lynch, it's here. June Surfer. More obscure film. Fun little fun fact. I only have one hand free, hold on. But sometimes, not very often, you'll find these cases that when you take out the tape, this goes up, and then probably in the store they put this back and it says in rental in Korean. And then they put this back on the shelves like that, so and probably the tape went in another case with the person who rented it. So yeah, little fun fact. And if you order June Surfer, you'll get one of those cases. 2 ETs at the moment. Well, actually one. This is with English subtitles in a paper sleeve, which is unusual. Recently sold the old first release, and this is yeah, it's a special bonus. Is those interviews and making of stuff. Not the movie, as far as I know. Echelon Conspiracy. Echelon. Eagle Eye, so they're both late ones. This is quite late, honestly. It's 2009 somewhere, yeah. Eagle Island. Earth Girls Are Easy, some early Jim Carrey stuff, and Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. Ed Wood, probably my favorite Tim Burton movie. It would be great to have an actual Ed Wood movie on videotape, but I don't think they exist here in Korea, at least. Edison, late one. Edward Scissorhands, more Tim Burton, Johnny Depp stuff. Eight-Legged Freaks. The fun thing is this actually looks a bit like a horror, right? Like I think the most Western countries released this with a more comedy style cover, but yeah, this is a proper monster movie cover, which could be misleading in a way. El Secreto. I think it's Venezuelan. Again, I hope I have my facts correct, but yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like somewhere in South America. So, 11 Days, 11 Nights. Electra. Jennifer Garner. Elephant Man. David Lynch. So, it's here. Elf. If you don't think this movie is funny, then go somewhere else. This is funny, alright? Elizabeth Town, a late one, but it has some limited releases here and there. It's 2005, or the movie could be even 2004. Elmo in Grouchland. Elsa, there's a couple of other Elsa films in here, you'll see. More Nazi stuff and boobs, basically. Empire of the Ants, more big ants. Enter the Ninja, nice, proper Gold Star release, still also usually quite nice. Entrapment, the reason that this is here is that it's sealed, plus it is also an unusual release by YBM, which is a publisher, and they publish a lot of music and stuff as well. But they're also very famous for their language academies and language materials. So this is made for English education with English subtitles. There's also a few without English subtitles or with explanations in the middle of the video or something. Eraserhead, probably the most valuable David Lynch film on Korean videotape, at least, and maybe on any videotape in other countries too. Quite sought after, absolute classic. Ernest Saves Christmas, Equalizer 2000, Aragorn, Escape from LA. Still never found an Escape from New York. I would love to have Escape from New York. Escape Girls, but I think there's another title of that as well. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Dracula Sucks. Then we have Black Cobra, Joe D'Amato movie, but there's another title because it's at the D or the E, and I forgot to write it on it, so I don't know. Evan Almighty, Even Angels Fall, The Evil, Evil Aliens, Evil Dead 2, Evils of the Night, Existence, Exit, Exit Dead End, The Exorcist, classic, The Exterminator 1, and The Exterminator 2. 2 copies. Actually, little fun facts, if this camera zooms in correctly. So they're both from the same label. This here is the old logo. They didn't use this for a very long time, but in the early days they used this logo, and then after they used this logo. So this is a little earlier printing of this movie. Eyes Wide Shut, Face of Fear, Fade to Black, Failure to Launch, late comedy, False Lights or Vals Licht in Dutch. It's a Dutch movie from Theo van Gogh. Van Gogh. Family Reunion, and another family reunion from 2 different labels, 2 points in time. But yeah, same movie, different releases. Fantastic Four, some animation stuff in the Korean dub, probably some episodes from the series. And then there's the Fantastic Four 1 and the Fantastic Four and the Rise of the Silver Surfer. Unusually mint, this one, by the way. It's like pretty much unused, which is why in that case usually the price goes up a little bit. It will be hard to find it in this sort of condition again. You need to be really lucky. Fargo, Fatal Revenge, Fear Resurrection, or also known as Halloween Night, at least in Korea. FC Venus, more obscure German late title, at least a late release. I'm not sure if it's a late movie itself. Female Marked, something released too. Mumble. The Fifth Element, classic. The Fight Club, also not a usual choice of cover art. More B action stuff with Final Conflict. Final Destination 1, somebody put a 1 there which wasn't originally there. Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, very popular late one. Final Destination 4 is very hard to find. That's 2009, I think. I had it once or twice, but as soon as I had it, it was gone. Final Encounter, Final Fantasy, which is a horizontal artwork. Finding Nemo with English subtitles, so it's also meant for the English education stuff, but an original Buena Vista Disney release. Firepower, yeah, which uses the artwork of Speed Trap, which is very confusing. It's not Speed Trap, it's Firepower. Firewall, First Wives Club, Bette Midler stuff. American Fist of the North Star, I think the title is Fist of the North Star. Fists of Steel, Flashpoint Africa. It says Cabin, but this is Flashburn. It doesn't say Flashburn anywhere, but it is. Fletch, Chevy Chase, 80s stuff. Flatliners, and there's our hero Steven Seagal again. Flight Plan with Jodie Foster. Trap, The Fog, which is a late one, but it does have a American release at least, maybe some other countries as well. It's 2005, I think so. It was just early enough for release. Food of the Gods, which I think is a Canadian film, right? Fools of Gold, Matthew McConaughey, late. Is it late? Yeah, it is late. 2008. And here's another Western with nice gold print for a few dollars more. A really great movie. Sergio Leone classics. Yeah, now you have this. I should put it like this. It has to shine. Not enough light here, but try to keep it dim, you know. Don't want any fade on the spines. The Forbidden Worlds. The Fountain. You're crazy if you watch this video all the way, you know. You can also put it on like 25% faster or 50% faster. Trying to cut a little bit to make it faster, but yeah. It's gonna be a long one. Frankenstein, that's the TV from the TV series with Julie Delpy. Free Jack, Mick Jagger, I wanted to say. Mick Jagger. Freedom Land, Freeway Maniac, lovely Canon release. Fresh Kill. Friday the 13th, the first one in two different conditions. One is quite some cheaper because it's in poor condition. The other one is pretty decent. This is the third one we have, and we have the seventh one at the moment. Friends with Money, late comedy. Fright Night 2. Late title as well. From Dusk Till Dawn, gotta love it. Also a lovely soundtrack, by the way, can recommend. Fugitive Girls, Full Metal Jacket, Fun with Dick and Jane, bit of Sun Fade, but not too much. Funhouse, really cool cover. Funhouse. And then in the corner we have Funny People, which is a South African prank stuff. Future Worlds. I think it's even 60s or 70s, I guess. Gangsters Law. Some Garfield films. The first one, and then we have the second one dubbed, and the other one also dubbed. It's two different conditions. No subs on at the moment. And then we have the third one, which is 2009, which is dubbed, if I am correct. The thing with animations releases from 2009 and 2010. Before they always specify whether it's dubbed or not, or dubbed or subtitled. But with the late ones, mostly not at all. And mostly they're only dubbed. Like, they didn't take as much effort in those late days compared with before. That's why. Gator Bates 1 in two different conditions. You can see their spine is a little worn. And Gator Bait 2, George and the Dragon, Ganda and Hess. Here it says Black Vampire, but it's Ganja and Hess. Gate 2, Get Smart, or Steve Carell stuff. Ghost House, Ghost in the Machine, cool cover. Coolies, definitely one in the more expensive category. Also a nice Oasis one, by the way. Gia with Angelina Jolie. Ginger Snaps 3. Girl on a Motorcycle. Girl School Screamers. Girls in Trouble. Gogs. I have a couple more to list in different incarnations, like Rental or something, or there's also a second volume. Bit of a raunchy clay animation stuff. Gold of the Amazon Women, here in an old cool release. Golden Cobra. And then Golden Compass, a nice late release with Nicole Kidman and many other Hollywood stars. And then we have The Good Shepherd here. Good Luck, Chuck, and Good Night, Good Luck. Late one, George Clooney movie. George Clooney directed and starred in it. Yeah. I have a Goonies in stock. Grease, actually really neat videotape, honestly. Hopefully there's a Grease fan who would like to pick that up. The Great Alligator, nice DNS alligator stuff. Greed, Gremlins 1, Gremlins 2, and Grizzly. Grizzly is another B monster movie. It's a killer Grizzly. The Grudge, I think I might have a Grudge 2 coming up. I think I found another one. The Guardian, which is also kind of late. And then there's Gun Blast Vodka. Okay, continuing in the next lane with La Haine, a French movie. Rough street violence movie. Hairspray, not too easy to find late one. Sorry, John Travolta. Half-Light, more late stuff. Half Past Dead 2, another solid looking Sony release. And here's an absolute treasure, which is Halloween, the Rob Zombie remake. Super hard to find. I've never found it, and then I found 2 in absolute pristine condition. So once this is gone, I'm just gonna cry. That's what's gonna happen. And here's Halloween H2O. At the moment, no other Halloween films in stock. I had some requests. It seems that they are quite popular, but yeah, some of them are super tough to find at the moment, mostly because I don't have any. Hangman, Hannibal Rising, the late Hannibal movie. Then I have 2 Happy Feet films. Both are the dubbed ones, but one is a retail version in the smaller case, and the other one is the rental one in the bigger case. Wesley Snipes in Hard Luck. Oh, there goes my rental thing. Hard Rock Zombie is absolutely cool looking one. Then a bunch of Harry Potters. The late ones are selling too fast. I was lucky to find the old ones in really pristine condition, actually. So there's definitely gonna be a Harry Potter fan picking these up. Also in the paper sleeve edition, I think these mostly came in a box set though, together with like a box. And the third one, which has a bit of fate. Harry and the Hendersons. Hatchet for a Honeymoon. Haunting Fear, lovely. I don't think this woman has anything to do with the movie now. Haunts. So again, same movie, 2 different labels, 2 different releases of the same movie. Hayat, I think it's an Iranian movie. Late one. Hearts and Armor. Heathers, which is also pretty cool release, honestly. Has a good cult status for sure. Hearts. Heat Street. Hell, with Jean-Claude Van Damme looking pretty creepy. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Sorry if sometimes the light is a bit reflecting. Hell in the Jungle, Infierno e la Selva, as they would say in Italy, probably. I have the first Hellboy movie, and I have the second Hellboy movie. which is also in super neat condition. Seriously, like these late popular titles, they're hard to find. Hellhole, Hell Knight, Hellraiser, some version of that, and Hellraiser Hellseeker, Hamo Goblin, and Herbie Fully Loaded. Hi Honey, I'm Dead, High Finance Woman, Highlander, classic. And this is from a TV series that from the 90s based on Highlander. These Hills Have Eyes Part 2, really cool. Hitch, Will Smith. Hitchhike, The Hitchhiker, as known as Dead Time Stories. Also could be a title of one of the episodes because this is from a TV series, some episodes from a TV series. Hitman, The Hole, The Holiday, Hollow Man 2, late one, really cool cover, Sony. Home Alone 3, I uploaded this together with 1 and 2, and you guessed it right, 1 and 2 were gone before you saw it. I always forget the title. Home on the Range, Disney, almost late, but not quite. A dubbed version of Hoodwinked, a really cool release of The Horror Star. Hostage, almost late, but has also a foreign release, I think. Hostages, old school release in a small case. By the way, those modern late releases in small cases like Happy Feet I showed you, if it's from the 90s or 2000, that usually means retail. But these small cases from the 80s, that was the early standard, this format. So these are just rentals, but in smaller cases. And most of the times you'll find these smaller case releases in big cases, like they put the sleeve in a big case during rental, or the rental shops never used the small ones to begin with and put it in a big one. So these original small cases are not easy to find. Some are branded, some are not. There's a couple in here that are original. Okay, there's another big one, which is Hostel 2. First time I've ever found this one, and it's in great condition. A bunch of house movies, which is always confusing which one is which, especially with Korean cover art mixing up stuff from earlier or future volumes. I guess it's House 4. I'm not sure at the moment. This is the making film of House, so it's the making of House. This is House 2, and this is House 3, and this is House of the Dead, and this is House of Long Shadows, and this is the House on Haunted Hill, and this is the House of Wax, the 2004 or 5 remake. 5, I guess. Was hoping somebody would be interested in getting all the Howling movies together, which is why they're listed in a bunch, which is definitely not something I do very often. But I think mostly the earlier ones are in demand, and I had them listed separately as well, although I sold them and restocked a Howling 1, not a Howling 2. But yeah, it's a cool batch, and as you can see, they all look like from different labels. Actually, these 3 are the same labels, but in different collaborations and different times in VHS history, so they all look very different. Alright. Human Animals, kind of very weird one. I don't think it's a Spanish film, but without spoken dialogue. A lot of body language. Yeah, quite an odd one. Really cool, beautiful cover. Yeah. The Humanoid. Of the Seeds, I Am Legend, popular late one. I Spit on Your Grave, the later re-release, which is why I should put it here actually, because this is the earlier release, and I have them in two different conditions. One a bit more in vintage condition, but with the original case, so you get like the whole old school vibe with it. But if you're a collector who likes just more to shine and mint perfection, this is a better choice, because the sleeve is really neat, and I think the tape as well, which is why they're probably at very similar price points, because I think each one has its value. Ice Age, at the moment I have a one with English audio, the first one, and the second one, both in Korean dub and English audio, which is in really nice condition, actually, the English audio one at the moment, but no 3 at the moment. Ice Princess, Disney stuff. Ice Queen, not so Disney stuff. Il Pentito, Il Pentito. The Illusionist, more Ilsa stuff. Ilsa Tigress of Siberia, in 2 different conditions. And Ilsa Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks. Heath Ledger, Johnny Depp, Jude Law. Yeah, it's when Heath Ledger died and they were filming Terry Gilliam's film The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. So it's a 2010 title. No, sorry, 2009? No, 2010, yeah. The title is from 2010, I think the movie is from 2009. But it's a lower budget label, but yeah, to that late title. This is Immortal. This is Impact Point. This is Impy and somebody else. Impy and, or Impy's something. In the Electric Mist, Tommy Lee Jones, late title, I think also 2009 or so. 2010. The Hulk from the the Incredible Hulk from the animated series. These are 2 separate releases. One is the Incredible Hulk, and the other one is The Return of the Hulk. It says in Korean, something like that. And this is the late one with Edward Norton, also one that's in a very high demand. The Indian in the Cupboard, Indiana Jones, all of them, the old ones at least, the 3 first ones. The late one I sold, I had it, but not anymore. Inkheart, Inner Sanctum 2, obscure stuff, people. Inner Space, Innocent Prey, Inside Deep Throat, and it was also a first time that I found this. It's a late release. The video is from 2006. Interface, Into the Night, or When Night Falls. I think this is also Israeli, if I'm correct. Intruder, Instant Justice. I have The Invasion in 2 different conditions. Irreversible, or Irreversible, French stuff. The Island, Michael Caine. Island of the Lost. Island, what island? Oh, Fishman, I think, was that Island of the Fishman or something? Here's Jack Frost, the comedy with Michael Keaton. And here's Jack Frost, less comedic, but more horrific. And here's Jacob's Ladder. Jarhead, late one, Jake Gyllenhaal. Jason X. Jaws. A re-release, sealed. It's like the 20th anniversary edition. Sealed, so that's really cool. And then there's Jaws 3, the old version, and Jaws 4. I think only Jaws 1 got this anniversary re-release. Joe versus the Volcano. Judge Dredd. Jumanji. Gotta have your 90s classics now. Junebug, really beautiful looking release. It's a lower budget label, but yeah, it looks really cool. Late release. Jungle Book, Jungle Assaults, Jungle Raiders. At the moment only having Jurassic Park, the second one, The Lost World, the third one that is. Just Before Dawn, Just Like Heaven, Just My Luck, also late stuff, all late. Chameleon, The Keep, cool looking. The Keeper. Really beautiful condition, Kill Bill 1 and 2. The Killer is still with us, is the original title if I'm correct. It says The Murderer is still with us, but pretty sure it's The Killer, which is why it's in the Killer section. Killers, Cameron Mitchell. Also Killers, but the late one with Ashton Kutcher and who? Catherine Heigl, yeah. Killing Cars, Killing Game, Killing Kind, Kim Possible, Korean dub, Disney, Hong Kong, King Kong 2, one did sell. King of the Mountain, really beautiful cover. It's a smaller Samsung release, smaller case. It's actually a different size than any these 80s Samsung cases, but yeah, really beautiful looking. This tool, by the way, King of the Streets, King Solomon Mines, the later remake with Patrick Swayze. Kingdom of Heaven on 2 tapes, same cover. Kiss of the Spider Woman. Kiziminkani, it's a Turkish movie. A small gold star case in Nell Buddy Avenger. Knight Rider 2010. Knowing, a cool late release 2009 if I'm correct. More monster cultness with Komodo versus King Cobra. Here's an absolute favorite with Kung Fu Panda, with subtitles, so with original English audio. And then we continue with more French modern classics. La Gamine with Johnny Hallyday. And more French with La Vie en Rose, with yeah, forgot her name. Lady Mobster, Lake Placid, late one. Oh, sorry, the Lake House, and this is Lake Placid. Yeah. If there's a big alligator on the cover, then you know I'm gonna buy it. The Lamp, nice. Land of the, what does it say? Land of No Return. Survival movie, I guess. Land of the Dead. Largo Winch. The Last Emperor. Probably not the most sought after title, but a really beautiful, clean, gold star release. Really nice looking. Last of the Good Guys. Also one of the harder to find unknown movie category. The Last Temptation 2. And then we have The Lawless Land. More wasteland, dystopian stuff. Lawnmower Man. Mio Mio Souchon. Le Vol du Sphinx. I don't know which one is the title now though. But yeah, French stuff. A League of Their Own for all baseball lovers out there. Leathernecks, really nicely cut off text here, Sometimes you have that. Zoom in. Anyway, leathernecks. Leaving Las Vegas. Classic, no. Layer Cake. We need looking release with Daniel Craig. Legally Blonde 1 and 2. The Legend of Zorro, late one. Lightning Rod Cowboys. Go America. Complete title. Leprechaun 1, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, and Les Pétroleuses, French stuff in a small 80s release. Sleeping Cops, or Let Sleeping Cops Lie, Let Cops Sleep, something like that. Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them in stock. All Warner Brothers releases. The Libertine with Johnny Depp. The Librarian, Quest for, what is it? The Spear. License to Terminate. The Lift, which is then the original Dutch movie by Dick Maas. Yeah. Lilo and Stitch 1 with subtitles, Lilo and Stitch 1 in the Korean dub, and Lilo and Stitch 2 Korean dubbed. Little Bear animation, Little Beaver, Little Miss Sunshine. It's first time I found it in sellable condition. I found it once more, but it was all messed up, so happy to find it with completely yellow colors, because if something goes in sun fade, the yellows go first. So really nice to have this in its full glory. The Lion of Africa and the Lion's Share. Lions and Lambs. Little Nicky Sealed. So a Adam Sandler comedy. Oh, this is also really neat looking. Sony release of a lesser known movie though. Living Dead. Lobster from Mars. Lola Rent, or Run Lola Run, but I put it on the original German title. Tom Tykwer movie, personal favorite for sure. Yeah, Berlin, cool stuff. Lord of the Rings, the first one and the second one in absolutely great condition. Lost Highway, A Lot Like Love, Brittany Murphy in Love and Trouble, Love Lies Bleeding, late stuff. It looks like it also says I don't know what you did last summer, Tree, but it's not. It's another Diener slasher. Lover's Lane, Lucky Number 11, late one, Luna Papa, more obscure title, and Link's Adventures or something, animation in the Korean dub, because it's also 2009. We continue with the M from Mako, Jaws of Death. The killer shark, woman killer, but actual title is Man Killers. And here's a neat copy of Mad Max 1 and also of Mad Max 2 and 3. These are typical tapes that you'll find in completely used up condition, because these have been humongously popular in Korea. And I actually have also a nice old Korean poster. Yeah. Here's Madagascar 2. Dubbed. Yep, it's the dubbed version. Here's Madame Emma. Dirty Harry in the Magnum Force. Majestic. Pretty alternative cover, I believe, from most other releases in the world. Major League. Malabemba. The Mamma Mia movie, late one. I've been in the mind too. Mammoth, more monster, B-monster madness. The Man from Deep River. Man of the Year, a late Robin Williams one. Man on the Moon, which is also, I mean, this cover art has been used on some DVD releases, I think. Most VHS releases look different. Manhunt, Maniac Cop 1, Maniac Cop 2, as known as Cordell in Korea, and Maniac Cop 3. Manticore versus USA, more again monster B movie madness. Martian Child, Martyrs, yeah, 2010 film, super rare, hard to find. Mary Poppins, sealed, although there's a big rip on front, as you can see in the seal. For the rest, it's just super neat though, with subtitles so with the original English audio, which would be normal for movies but not for kids movies. So anyway, Maximum Overdrive, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is a retail release with English subtitles, so one of those English education ones. Mars Attacks, and the mask from the animated series. It's one set. It's like volume 1 and volume 2. So it's one set from with the episodes from this animated series. Master Blaster, Nestes in Hell, Matador, Spanish. Match Point, Woody Allen, late title. Matrix, yeah, 1, 2, 3. No, yes, 1, 1, 2, 3. This is the Korean retail. This is the English subtitles retail. So that's why it's English looking. And then the Matrix 2 comes on 2 cassettes, and the Matrix 3 comes on 1 cassette. And here we have Mausoleum, again 2 different versions from 2 different times with completely different cover art. Yeah. Both are cool looking though. Bad Blood, I put it at the M from the original French title, Bouvet Sang. Meet the Applegates, I think. Memoirs of Geisha, this is the first time I have this in the shop actually, also coming on 2 tapes. The Messengers. Metamorphosis, the Alien Factor, Metamorphosis, Miami Cubs, Miami Golem, very cool cover, Miami Vice, the 2005 one, here, and Michael Clayton, George Clooney, late one, and Midnight Cowboy, John Voight, Dustin Hoffman. Really beautiful release actually. $1 Million Baby, with on 2 tapes with different cover art. There's only a handful of titles that have different cover art among the ones that go on 2 tapes. Mirrors, Kiefer Sutherland. Mirror, Miss Potter, late one, with Renee Zellweger. Mission Impossible 3. And here's 2 Deathmans on display. One in a small case, one in a big case. Both of the same label. But yeah, same story, different times. This must be the earlier one, I would be guessing. You can't really see it on the cover art because it's all pretty much the same when it comes to the registration numbers and all of that. Another one in a small case, Mitchell, action cult stuff from the 70s, I think. Momo, Monster High, Monsters Inc. with English audio, Korean subtitles. And then there's Monster House, one Korean dubbed and one with English audio, Korean subtitles. Couple of Mortal Kombats. Mortal Kombat 1, I had it a couple of times, but kind of sells very fast. Mortal Kombat 2 is a little less popular. And then there's a bunch of tapes from the series. I had more before they sold. I have one now. Mr. Megorium and his Wonder Imperium. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. These two in happier times. Mr. Bean's Holiday. Mr. No Legs. The third Mummy movie. A late popular title for sure. It's The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Munich, also coming on 2 tapes. Same cover art for that one. Murder in the Orient. Mutant Chronicles, a late one with John Malkovich. Yeah, 2007. My Bloody Valentine. Definitely a sought after cult title. My Life is Hell. Not my words. What's the name again? My Super Ex-Girlfriend. Mystery Island. Oh, Mystery on Monster Island. Yeah, in a small case. Really beautiful. Old school Gold Star release. The Naked Countess. The Naked Gun. I have the Naked Gun. I mean, these sort of comedy titles, if it's a super famous one, I pick it. I know not many people are looking for this, but if I see it in this neat condition, somebody needs to be with me here and think this is cool now. A good old Leslie Nielsen comedy. Nanny McPhee, late one. National Treasure 2, also a late one. Natural Born Killers. Necromancer. Look at that. We had black eyes, we had white eyes, and now we have green eyes. Neon Maniacs. The Nesting. Never Back Down. So Factory Seals, Never Been Kissed. Never Ending Story 2. Hard to find a Never Ending Story 1 if it even exists. Fred Williamson in The New Barbarians. New in Town, late one. The New Gladiators. New Nightmare. So it's another Elm Street film. And New Year's Evil. The Newly Dead's like a comedy slasher thing, comedy horror. New York Ripper. Night Angel. Next with Nicolas Cage, late one. Night of the Demons 2. Night of the Living Dead, it says sort of 4, but this is Night of the Living Dead, the remake by Tom Savini. Unpopular opinion, I think this is better than the original Night of the Living Dead. It's just really well made. It's actually how the Night of the Living Dead should be. And Tom Savini really respects the original Night of the Living Dead, and you can see that, you can feel that. So I recommend. Nightman, Night of the Museum, late one, Ben Stiller. Night Screams. Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton. Nightmare in Blood. Look at that. Nightmare on Elm Street in 2 different conditions. Yeah, it says 2 and 3. There was one more. Not anymore. And this is also Nightmare on Elm Street's Final Nightmare Freddy's Dead. Except he never was, I guess, or always keeps coming back, those guys. Nightmares, Nico, and something something. It's from somewhere in Europe, animation, but this is the one in the Korean dub. Nim's Island, late one on a low budget label. Ninja Tree, if it zooms in well. Ninja Tree, North Country, North Bill, Not of This World, I think, and Nothing But Trouble, and Nowhere, which is also a pretty sought after movie. Then we have the number 23, a late one with Jim Carrey, The Occultists, Oceans 11, Oceans 12, and Oceans 13, Octoman, Odyssey, it says, and Off Balance, really cool green original sun bouquets. The Omen 4, somebody has been snatching away some Omens. And then the Omen, the remake from 2006 or so. So a late title. One by One, more Nazi stuff. I mean, yeah. Sealed One Fine Day with no subtitles at all. They're making it more difficult for the Korean English learners there. Operation Extermination. Oh, that's upside down, sorry. So there it is. Ah, that's why. Because the spine title is upside down, so I put it like that. The Orphanage. Oscar and Friends. The Other Boleyn Girl. Scarlett Johansson late title. Blame It on Lambada, a bit of an obscure one. Which is definitely a category I like to pick up. Sometimes there's movies and you look them up and there's you can find some entries, but like 0 physical media releases, like no DVD, no video in most countries, and those are movies I like to pick up. Sometimes if you start to dig on Google, you'll find some threads on some forums sometimes of people looking for it, so if they do, they'll find my store and the video. So that's why I pick those sort of movies up. This is Out of the Body, and that was the end of the O. So we're in the next lane and we have a Terminator poster here, really cool. But I'm not here to show Terminator posters, I'm showing the P, Paganini Horror. That's the first one. Paganini Horror. Painted Feel, Parapsychics, Paris Je t'aime, or Paris I Love You in English, also a late title. Here's Passion of the Christ in a unusual incarnation, namely in a paper sleeve. North American VHS collectors are very used to paper sleeves, but here in Korea that's a novelty. And the paper itself is also, it has a bit of a, like this special structure, special paper. So, really cool looking. There's a rental of this as well. Maybe someday I'll list that as well. Pathology, I think it's a very late one from 2008. Paolo Roberto Cotticino, maybe. Penelope, late one. Perfect Stranger, also a late one. Perfect Victim, it says Critical Victims on the cover, but it's Perfect Victims. Perfume, story of a murderer on 2 cassettes. The Pest, Pet Cemetery, and then there's a bunch of Peter Pans in different conditions, and one is with English subtitles, 2 with Korean subtitles. Here's Peter and the Wolf, very old Disney classic. Here's Pets. Make it look like that. I watched this whole videotape, by the way. Interesting movie, but I felt like a bunch was cut out, so a lot of it depends on what time you're starting to, in what time you're looking, but this one is obviously has some raunchy stuff, so I think they cut out quite a bit of that. But yeah, really cool looking release though, so really cool collector's piece. Phantasm 3, Phenomena, the Pinchcliffe Grand Prix, which is a Norwegian stop animation film, really cool. I also have the VCD, by the way, if you're looking for a cheaper one. The VCDs are cheaper. The Pink Panther Strikes Again, the Pink Panther late one, the remake late one. Pinocchio with Korean subtitles, retail version. And here's a much angrier Pinocchio, in the Pinocchio Syndrome. And here's Piranha 3. And here's Pirates of the Caribbean, nice gold glossy spine. And here's your favorite actor Steven Seagal in Pistol Whipped. Plain Dead, a zombie movie. Planet of the Apes, one of the volumes. I used to have more. This is Beneath the Planet of the Apes. This is Playroom. It says Evil Dead 4, but it does not have anything to do with Evil Dead. I just try to benefit from their reputation. Here's Pocahontas with Korean subtitles, English audio, retail version. The Police, or Police. Poltergeist, doesn't have any explanation. Here's more Winnie the Pooh sealed. This is the Heffalump movie. Popcorn, also a classic. Population 436. It's Fred Durst in it. Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit. Porky la P38. This one, most of its lifespan has been sitting sealed, I believe. It's in absolute mint condition. Some obscure French stuff. Probably some, detective, police, crime stuff. Praying Mantis, slasher thriller. Preacher Man, Predator 2, Prestige, Christopher Nolan. Pretty Woman, a promotional release in a paper sleeve. It's all like watermarked from Buena Vista, all official, but I think they use this for some promo, or it's also with English subtitles. So Prime Love, Primal Rage, Prison. It says Kill Night here too. It's Prison. I guess I shouldn't show this because it has a bit of nudity on the cover. But it's a women in prison movie, Prison Heat, with the topless cover. You would think otherwise, but it's a movie. It's just a movie. It's a 70s movie, but this videotape is released in 2001, which is probably why they named it 2001 Women's Prison. Anyway, The Professor, The Progeny, Project Vampire, Project X, Psycho. This is the remake. I had a bunch of older Psychos, they're all gone. Psychopath in 2 different conditions. Check out the listings to check the exact difference, but this one has a bit of something. It's subtle, but Pulp Fiction. Gotta have Pulp Fiction. Puma Man. Punch Drunk Love. It has 2 sleeves. 2 different sleeves. The one is behind it. I'm not gonna take it out now because I have only one hand free. But you can see the listing. It has 2 different sleeves, so that's a nice, cool little Easter egg. Punkfication. Purple People Eater. The Pursuit of Happiness. Push. 2009 tape. The Queen. Another late one. Quiet Cool. Quiet Thunder. Nice old Samsung release. Rabid. Really cool movie, honestly. Bit messy at some points, but yeah, definitely a classic. Trauma Goodness in Rabid Grannies. The Railway Murders. Raging Queen. The Raiders of Atlantis. The Raiders of the Sun. This is Rainbow, Bob Hoskins movie. Bob Hoskins directed this, as far as I know. And then this should be with the F officially, but I had all my Rambo movies here. And at the moment I have the first one, so Korea is just Rambo 1, First Blood, and Rambo 3, released at the same label, so similar cover art. This is Rambo's Revenge. And a couple of Reds movies. That one is called Reds, with Giant Red. I guess this is also Giant Reds. Red's Night of Terror. And this Red is a little cuter. In Ratatouille, the green dub. And this is Reanimator, also known as Zombio. And Reanimator 2 and Beyond Reanimator, so it's Reanimator 3, which is a 2006 Korean release. I guess the movie is 2004 or 5, but this tape was released in 2006. The Reader, more late stuff, more small old school goodness with real bullets. The Reaping, I really like the cover of The Reaping. Rebel Without a Cause, simply a classic in a restored 90s release. Red Belt, this is also the first time I found this title, a late one from 2008. Red Wind, Red Scorpion, Reform Schoolgirls, and this is also Reform Schoolgirls again in 2 different pressings from different labels and different points in history. These SKC Pro ones were really above average quality for the time. So if you buy something like this and you think like, oh, that's how what videotapes look like in 1988 in Korea, no, this is usually above average image quality compared with other labels at that time. Well, I mean, some other big labels also delivered decent quality, but definitely not all. More late Sony, good stuff. I mean, good stuff. It always just looks really professional. This is Rent. And I say that because you saw like a lot of the older titles are quite amateuristic collages of cover art of other movies and I don't know what. Yeah, of course in later times there was more professionalism. Okay, another late one, Wes Craven. I think the official title is Red Eye. They use the title Night Flight here. Repulsion, Roman Polanski. Requiem for a Dream. And Rescue Force. Reservoir Dogs, of course. Reservoir Dogs. Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. Again, 3 different labels, 3 different points in time. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, which is a late one. Worked hard on restoring this, by the way, and I don't have any left after this at this point. The Return of the Evil Dead. I think it's an Italian movie. It's also not related to Evil Dead. Return of the Living Dead Battalion. The Battalion 2. So it's the sequel to that. Return of the Living Dead 3. Return of the Werewolf. And the Retrievers. The Rift. The Ringer. A late Johnny Knoxville flick. Robo Chic or Robo Chick. Robo Chick, I guess. In Korean they would say Robo Chick at least. Robocop 2. Robocop 3, and 1 tape with episodes from the Robocop series that came after that. Robot Jocks, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Really beautiful. Release. Rolf, action cult stuff. Rosemary's Baby, the original old one on 2 tapes, and a later re-release from the 90s. Rotor, Rottweiler, also known as Terminator Dog or TD. The Royal Tenenbaums. Run If You Can. Are you still watching this? Are you crazy? Runaway. Running Against Time. Running Scared. Bill Murray of course, in Rushmore. Yep. Rectangle Tape. Ruthless People. Danny DeVito and Bette Midler. RV. Robin Williams. Watch this whole tape as well. Useless fact. Salute of the Jungle. No, Salute of the Jugger. Samar. Santa Sangre. It's Jodorowsky stuff. Satan's Skin. A really cool one. What is this? Savage Hunt. Savage Weekends. Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4. Hopefully Saw 5 coming up as well. In the past I usually could get my hands on some so now and then, but it's getting increasingly difficult, and Saw 6 I only had once, so that one is very hard to find. Like videotapes from 2010 especially, they came in very limited amount of copies, so there can be a big difference in difficulty finding a 2006 tape and a 2010 tape, because 2006 tapes still got printed in decent amounts, also not as many as in the 90s or so, but still. But 2009, 2010 tapes, they're very limited and they're hard to find. Scared Stiff, Scarface Killer, Scary Movie 1, 2 and 3. 4 is a late one, pretty popular one that gets snatched pretty quickly usually as well. Scenes from a mall, more Bette Midler stuff. School of Rock in beautiful condition. Jack Black. Scooby-Doo 2. It's not late, almost. Scoop. Late Woody Allen. Scorpion King 2. Scorpion Thunderbolt. Scream. There's a sealed copy of Scream for sale with watermark. Protected. We put it in a bag so the seal doesn't get damaged. And then there's a used rental Scream. And Scream 2. Scrooged. Scrubbers. Season 4 Assassins. Secret. Late one. The Secret of Inca's Empire. Another secret. This time it is the secret of Munaker. See No Evil. Another late one that I didn't find before. Separate Lies. 7. Just one of those staples that you want to have in the shelves. 7 Magnificent Gladiators. Could as well be a Playboy cover almost, but yeah. Severance. The Seventh Seal, Ingmar Bergman, classic. Sex and the City, probably from the series. It's a promo that came with a magazine, I think, yeah, with Marie Claire. Shadow, it's sealed. Might be a bit tiered here and there, but yeah. Shadow Zone. Shakma. And then we have a situation with, again, with the same movie in 2 different prints. One in a small case, one in a bigger case. I think both came out in the 80s. Franco Nero in The Shark Hunter. Shark Tale, one in the Korean dub and one with the original English audio. Shark Boy and Lava Girl. She and another She. It's a different movie though in this case. She Devils on Wheels. Sherlock Holmes, a popular late one. Shoot 'em Up, also a late one. Shooter, also a late one. And then there's Short Circuit 2. And then there's Shrek 2 with English audio Korean subtitles. Shrek 3 with in Korean dub. And then we have Silent Hill. And then we have Silent Night, Deadly Night. 2 Simpsons tapes from the 90s. One being The Dark Secrets of the Simpsons. And the other one being Springfield Murder Mysteries. These are both in the Korean dub. I think both have been popular in Korea, the dubbed version and subtitled version, because Simpsons has just been popular among kids but also adults. So if you zap on the TV, you can find either. Sideways, Silence of the Lambs, Signs, Singing in the Rain. This was a very dirty, used up rental. I just had fun restoring it, honestly. I mean, just cleaning it up in this case. Just used a lot. It's not even the most sought after title, but I thought this is just like a nice piece of solid debut rental. Yeah, okay. Just me, maybe. The Sitter, April Fool's Day, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. A very cheap, unusually cheap one in our assortment because it's not sought after, but kind of like the cover, even though it's not unique. Sky Fighters, yeah, some lesser known late War something. Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. Slugs, rather than two different conditions, these are from two different labels. I can't see that very well, but one is Aju and the other one Art Cinema. Anyway, it doesn't say, but it's Slumber Party. I mean, it doesn't say anyway. Slumber Party, Slumdog Millionaire, Snatch, Snowkill, two Snow Whites. This is what the old one looks like, the older rental size with English subtitles, and the other one later release. More Russian classics, Solaris. Sometimes they come back again. Sorority House Massacre, Soul Hunter, Soul Taker, South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut, Space Chimps, Space Rage, Speed, Speed Racer, a very sought after late one. This is really special, honestly. Very old release of the 70s Spider-Man movie. The cover, the sleeve is pretty. I mean, it has some stains, and yeah, it's in old vintage condition. I was really happy to. It was not with the original case, and I found the original Daewoo case. So this is reunited in its, restored in its original glory. And very unusually, which sometimes happened in the very early days of Korean VHS, is that they dubbed movies, which are not necessarily kids' movies, but this is in Korean dub, and the audio is horrible. Not gonna lie, the audio is pretty bad. Like even if your Korean would be fluent, just the audio quality is pretty bad. Like the recording quality of the dub, that's pretty much it. But yeah, definitely an interesting collector's piece for sure. And then there's a couple of Spider-Man animation. Yeah, so each these are both sets, like with Volume 1 and Volume 2. One is The Return of the Green Goblin, and the other one says Daredevil versus Spider-Man. And then we have some Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, one with English subtitles, one is the rental with Korean subtitles, also just English audio, and the same goes for Spider-Man 2. Spookies, definitely in the higher priced category of cult. Stage Fright, also known as Aquarius, I guess. SS Experiment Love Camp. Star Crash, Star Trek. This is also one set of 2 volumes with the same cover art of the first, the earlier Star Trek movie. And then there's 2 later Star Trek videos. One Generation, Star Trek Generations, and Star Trek Insurrection. And then there's some Star Wars stuff. Special edition of the first 3, which came out somewhere in the 90s, I think, yeah, 97. There's also early ones. I had some before, but yeah, I might have 1-2 lists in my to-do list, in my to-do pile. But yeah, that's for later. Of course, this is the holy grail among Star Wars tapes, the Star Wars 3 one, and this one is in absolute mint condition. It's really beautiful looking. And I still also have 1 and 2 from the later installments. Staying Alive, nice cover, John Travolta. The Stendhal Syndrome, Step Up 1 and Step Up 2, both late dance movies. The Stepfather 2 and The Stepfather 3. One in a smaller case, Stigma, Strangeland, also known as Hendrix. A stranger is watching. I hope strangers are watching. Hello, strangers. Stranger Than Paradise. Straw Dogs. Street Kings, also a late one. Street Fighter, Jean-Claude Van Damme classic. Strike Commando, Strike of the Panther, Striking Distance, Striking Point, Subspecies, Suicide Cult, Summer Eagle, what does it say? I can't read my own handwriting. Super Witch of Love Island. It has the French title here. Vaudou au Caribe, something on the Caribbean, I guess. Superman 3, which is lonely leftover after having the whole series, or the first 4 or something. Super Mario Brothers, the 90s one with Bob Hoskins. Superstition. It's a superstition, but yeah, it's just Korean cover art amateurism there. The Sure Thing. Surf's Up. This is the Korean dub. Survival Game. The Sword and the Sorcerer. I don't know how to pronounce this, man. Singenor. Syriana, late Clooney. The Tale of Desbureau. Taxi 4, late one. Taxi Driver, another classic. TC 2000. What do you think? Is he ripping you off, Arnold? Yes. I think he is. Teen Witch. The $10 million crap. Or Super Colpo da 7 miliardi. Terminal Force. The Terminator 2. Terminator 3. Terminator Woman. Terror Peak, Terror Storm, also known as Cyclone, perhaps. Terror Vision, fun movie. Watch the whole tape. That's the problem, you know. I clean tapes and then I end up watching the whole movie. There goes my time, you know. Texas Adios, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first movie, which is a later release than the second one, but once the second one came out, there was never a first one release. So yeah, this is the first one. I believe this is it came like this exactly. And then the second one, which is a beautiful Canon release, original Segung, which is a more established label. Like this little label released a lot of art house movies, strangely enough. And then there's a later MGM release of what promises to be uncut version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And then there's the 90s Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. It has a little bit of a bite out of the spine now. And then there's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. Is that the title? Or was this the beginning? This is the beginning, so that's the late one. And this is the remake, I guess, from the 2000s. Alright. Theris. Thim. Horror. Late one. The Thing Below. There's Something About Mary. There's Something About Mary with English subtitles and sealed with the Fox watermark. They Bite. This is This Man Must Die. The Thomas Crown Affair, also with English subtitles and the original Fox watermarks on there. A Thorn in the Heart. Thou Shalt Not Kill Except. Time Masters, French animation classic, also where I'm from. I believe I've seen this at some point in my childhood. And this is a later, really neat Sony release from 2005. But the movie is from the 70s, I think. Today You Die, with your favorite actor, Steven Seagal. And Domino. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and then there's Tomb Raider, and what is it? I forgot the title. The Golden Globe. No, I forgot now. Yeah. The Tomb. Tortured. It's another late, cool-looking Sony release from 2008. I think it's also the first time I found this. Yeah, really cool looking. Gotta love the Sony releases. A Touch of Spice, a late release from 2006. Top Gun. And then there's that was the rental, and this is a retail re-release from later in the 90s. The Towers of Screaming Virgins. German Virgins. Toy Story 2 with English subtitles. Toy Story 2 with Korean subtitles. The Mommy Market, also known as Trading Mom. Bit of a more obscure kids movie from the 90s, I believe. Obscure as in lesser known. Trans-America, late title. Transformer, the animation film from the 80s with English subtitles. And then there's the Transformers, the 2007 movie, factory sealed with the Paramount watermark, and we protected it by putting it in another protective sleeve. And then there's the second Transformers movie, a very much sought after late one from 2009 in a really beautiful condition. This is why I held up all my tapes. I wanted to show you my Transformers videotape. Transporter 2 and the Transporter, the third one, if I'm correct. Yeah. The Trident Force, Trashin, Trauma, Troll 2, Tromeo and Juliet, another Trauma gem, the Troops and Aliens, more French classic stuff, Truck Turner, True Romance, Turkey Shoot. Recently somebody messaged me about whether it's the uncut version, and I'm nice, so I figured it out, and it's not the uncut version. It's the same, it's basically the same version as it was released in the US. I think it might be that there's different cuts, but it looks like they cut similar parts. Anyway, Twilight, the first one, yeah, late one, and Twilight, the third one, so not the second one in stock at the moment. And then there's Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that guy. Twister, Two-Edged Knife, Two for the Money, The Ugly Duckling and Me, Una My Love, yeah, looks like to be a Croatian film. Unconscious, Undead, Undisputed 2, United 93, The Unseen, Opera 7, and one from your favorite actor Steven Seagal, Urban Justice, Untraceable, also known as Kill With Me, I think, Dead House Unrest, The Usual Suspects, V for Vendetta, also a sought after late title, Vulcan, Son of Jupiter, Valiant, yeah. The Valley of Gwangi, Vampira, Vampire at Midnight, Vampire Circus, misspelled as Vampipe Circus, but yeah. Vampire Hookers, Vampire Night, Vampirella. This sticker, by the way, sometimes you'll see that it's pretty much says like a giveaway or something. What I think is like sometimes with VCRs or something, they got a bunch from the label to use it to promote, or buy a VCR and get a videotape for free, and then it will be that one, something like that. It's my guess. Van Wilder Party Liaison, Vantage Point, late one. Venus Killer, obscure German slasher, sort of. Der Venus Murder, I think is the German title. The Velvet Vampire, A Very Long Engagement, Une Longue Dimanche de Fiançailles, I think. Victimless Crimes, Video Murders, Videodrome, nice. Vigilante, VIP, Pamela Anderson stuff. Viper, again in the unusual sized Samsung case. Rome Violent City, Visitor, Voodoo Black Exorcist, Froome, Wake of Death, Walk the Line, Wall-E, definitely a very sought after one. This is the one Korean dubbed version. Yeah, still sought after. Of course, the one with English audio is even more sought after. Here's a Wallace and Gromit retail with English subtitles. Here's a Wallace and Gromit rental in the Korean dub. Here's a late Wallace and Gromit. The night, what is it? The Cursed Rabbit something. And this is the Korean dub. There's both versions exist with English audio and in Korean. Warbus 2, War of the Worlds, The Water Boy, The Water Horse, Legends of the Deep, late one, Wax Mask, Wax Work, and Wayne's World. And to the final shelves now. Wedding Crashers, Weatherman, Nicolas Cage, Weirdo, The Werewolf Shadow, really cool looking, the Tina Turner film, What's Love Got to Do with It, What Happens in Vegas ends up on my Korean VHS shelves. Wheels of Terror, When Harry Met Sally, When Women Had Tails, That's a long time ago, I think. White Knight, Wild Hogs, late one with John Travolta. This is 2007. Willow, definitely a cult favorite. Witch Story, Witchcrafts, Without Warning, absolutely really cool release, this one. Beautiful gold star release. I mean, even the edge is a bit worn here, but yeah, really nice. Women in Fury, World Trade Center, the world's craziest army even. And then we have Wrong Turn 2. It says Death Camp 2 in Korean, and then in English it says Severed. So nice and confusing. X312 Flight to Hell. The X-Files Fight the Future. And the later X-Files film, the late one from 2008. And the X-Files I Want to Believe. And then we have some X-Men, the first one, the second one, and not the last then at the moment, but we have a Wolverine in stock. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Savannah, Extro 2, I think this is the second one. Yeah, even though it says Extra, but it's the second one. And 3, no 1 at the moment. XX2, XXX2. Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. Pretty late, a popular one too. Yumi and Dupree. You Turn to Die, or Your Turn to Die, probably. Also one of those very vintage looking live releases. What does it say? It doesn't say anything, but it's definitely in the earlier release. Oh, it does say 87, 88. Okay, thought it was earlier. I'm gonna lie. Young Frankenstein, Young Landlords, and then Z. And we're ending with the Z of Zathura, or the Z of Zerschussene Traume, German movie, or the Z of Zipperface, or Zombie 2, or 1 or 2, and 3, Zombie 3, or Zombie Wars. It's a late release, I think. And one of my favorites, Zoolander. So those were the shelves. I have 2 sealed Pokemon movies sitting here. Factory sealed, 2 tapes inside. One is the 98 and another 99 movie, something like that. The first and the second. And then there's a couple you missed on the shelves because they're on the display. On display. Which is one of the biggest holy grails, luckily still sitting here, which is the Simpsons movie. Don't buy it, people. I like it here. Don't buy it. Buy this one, Teen Wolf, classic with Michael J. Fox. Or buy Star Wars. Oh yeah, I do have an old Star Wars release in stock then. I was just saying I didn't. I do. This is a digital remaster though. Oh, this is a remaster. This is another, like they had like 3 series. There was an earlier one, and then you have those anniversary ones and digital remaster ones. That's what the story was. So there's at least 3 releases. Might be some retail version as well. Waterworld. This is the original rental Jaws. And then we have Evil Town, Another one that I'm very happy with that is still sitting here is Planet Terror, sealed with watermarks, really beautiful, didn't suffer a bit. And then The Seed of Chucky. There is an American release, I know, also really beautiful. And here are two personal favorites, one Bad Taste and the other one Brain Dead, also known as Dead Alive. Peter Jackson's first two movies. And again, like, this is not accepted in especially the US. So the US release, he just has a fist in the air, and here he has the original middle finger in the air. Here's Coraline, also a super hard to find late animation film from 2009. And then there's Fly Me to the Moon, The Lion King with subtitles, so English audio. I think it's the later re-release as well, this one. Oh, here's, I didn't sell it. I still have another Nightmare on Elm Street. And then there's B-Movie, The Mask, Pulgasari, the only North Korean movie in the house, I guess. Yeah, for all kaiju fans. It is dubbed in South Korea, by the way. Little fun fact. So you don't hear the original North Korean audio. This is an original official South Korean release, so they dubbed it. One of the reasons being, like, it's difficult to understand North Korean for Koreans, I think. Plus it might have been politically loaded some parts as well, so they probably changed that a bit, cut it up a bit. And Gundress. And then on the second display, there's a bunch of Asian movies. Like I said, that's for another day. And there's also some others. This is King Solomon Mines, the original one, I think. Old Boy, which is in the Asian category. This is in the music video category, which is also for another day. Beetlejuice, Blade Runner, the later Warner Brothers release. More Spider-Man animations versus Dr. Octopus. And Shizoids and Midnights. Another Pinocchio with English subtitles. Robots. And Solstice and Stardust. Alright, that's it. If you watched until here, you're crazy. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on koreadisco.com.